Hi everyone, I'm Matt from BitcoinMagazinePro.com, and today we are going to look into Bitcoin, but specifically this brand new, amazing, completely entirely free chart. We've added the MVRV quantile bands. Now, I know I've been talking about these quite a lot recently. A couple of weeks ago, we released a video looking at exactly this approach, looking at these MVRV projection bands, applying an amplitude decay model, looking at the returns versus blind DCA versus buy and hold. I'll link it below so you can watch that if you haven't already. But the issue with this is this was just a small little niche bit of Pine script I'd made for the purpose of this video. And as many of you pointed out, we do have to pay taxes, unfortunately. So I went back and I altered the strategy. I looked at it through the point of view of an oscillator, so we could actually measure it on a 0 to 100 scale. I went back to the guys at BM Pro and I thought, how can we make this? And we just made it. It wasn't too difficult. But now what we can do is see quickly, clearly, easily the valuation of Bitcoin in comparison to its historic value. So just as a quick refresher, what this is doing is looking at the MVRV score of Bitcoin, the market value to realized value, the average accumulation price, the cost basis of BTC, just this red line here. And it is fitting this amplitude decay model, which is taking into account its fairly predictable rising bottoms and declining peaks. Now, once we do all of that, we can actually normalize Bitcoin and where it currently sits in relationship, in accordance to historical overvalued and undervalued levels. So we can scroll down here and you can see all of the underlying logic, calculation methodology, etc. But if we just look at where we are right now, current percentile, 8%. Now, if I just zoom in over the past 3 cycles, what we can see, this is comparable to when Bitcoin is pretty much bottoming out in every single bear cycle. Can we go lower? Yes, of course we can. If we look to say 2022, we almost started hitting these bottom percentiles as Bitcoin first reached about $18,000. We then went down to about 15,000. So we did go 20% lower. That's not out of the question. But one thing this model takes into consideration is the fact that if you look at the 2015 bear market low, we were very much beneath the realized price. 2019, a little bit less. 2022, a little bit less. We're reaching these levels before we've actually reached the realized price. A lot of people are looking at Bitcoin as a linear 1 or 0. Do I buy, do I sell? If instead you take into consideration an approach like this, working in percentiles, working in probabilities, then you can see returns like this where you're massively outperforming dollar cost averaging. But it'd be rubbish if we just provided this tool and didn't tell you exactly how to use it, because I've done a lot of data analysis over the past few days. Now, this is, by all accounts, and I'll prove it with the numbers in a minute, the approach that if you do not know what you're doing with your Bitcoin investing, this is probably not a bad place to start. And there's a few different ways you can really implement this. If you are of the mindset of never sell your Bitcoin, that's absolutely fine. You do you. You can still use this model and you will almost certainly still outperform blind dollar cost averaging into the market. Now, if we could lump sum all the way back in 2014, yeah, that's a little bit different. But most of us don't have an infinite amount of cash sidelined ready to deploy into the market. Most of us get paid from our jobs, and from that we drip that into our investments. So the way this works is, and I'm just going to hide myself because I might be a little bit in the way, when we are beneath the 10th percentile, we're in the bottom 10% of readings here, we are aggressively buying Bitcoin. Now, what we are buying with is this reserve. So just quickly as well, standard, if we're beneath the 85th percentile, which, yes, it's very high, you should be dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin quite a lot. Essentially, if you look at the Bitcoin price action, even when we're starting to get a little bit overvalued, we might be overvalued at a few $1,000s before we rally 10x. So yes, we are accumulating up until the 85th percentile. Now, if you are selling your Bitcoin, you do not have to, but this takes into consideration about a 0.1% fee for every sale and a 20% capital gains tax on every single profitable trade. This has all been taken into consideration. We are selling more aggressively as we start to get to the very overheated values. And we're not selling a huge amount, only at the very top, 3/4 of a percentage point at the absolute peak of Bitcoin. Now, again, the reasoning for this is because we can be at new all-time highs, looking very overvalued and still double. So we want to take into consideration the fact that about 12% of Bitcoin's days are in this sell region. Over 1 in 10. There's quite a lot of time that you're going to be taking profit, so it doesn't want to be a monumental amount. You don't want to start scaling out too early. If you don't want to sell, again, that is absolutely fine. But above 85%, you're pausing. That dollar cost averaging in, and the baseline we use for this, and again, I'll get into numbers. We did many different methodologies of starting with a larger amount, depositing on a monthly basis or a weekly basis. But for this, for simplicity's sake, I did starting with $100 and depositing $100 every single week. Now, this is just on the opening of the weekly candle, so midnight Monday. Again, I tested this at the US open time. I tested this randomly seeding throughout the week, so we'd buy randomly on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It didn't matter. They were fairly negligible differences in returns. But for simplicity's sake, we are doing this at the weekly open with $100. Above 85%, we're not selling. Below 85%, standard DCA. But with this cash reserve that we've built up in this upper 80, well, this top 15% above the 85th percentile, and especially if we've got an additional cash reserve because we've been very slowly scaling out as we get into that top 10%, we build up a cash reserve. And this is where we're very aggressively scaling into Bitcoin. And again, this starts linearly. All the logic is here if you want to pause it and actually see exactly what we're doing. But at the lowest point of a Bitcoin bear market, when we are at the 0 percentile, you're deploying 10% of your additional cash reserve to buy as much BTC as possible. And one thing we also figured out is it's not that you never want to sell your Bitcoin. Some people might change their views on that. The point is you never want to sell all of your Bitcoin as well. From a monetary standpoint, from a performance standpoint, from a philosophical standpoint, I mean, why are we even here if all we're trying to do is maximize our fiat? No, I'm trying to maximize my Bitcoin. So we're also putting a floor in of 50%. You can see here, trimming stops if BTC would fall 50%. We always want half of our invested capital in BTC. Okay. That's the logic. Now, does it work? Again, I didn't want to overfit this, so I didn't just want to test from 2014. And if you do go back and watch that YouTube video, we can see we did lots of out-of-sample testing. We tested if we limit the data to start in 2015 and 2018. We wanted to make sure that this is a viable strategy going forward. So not only did we test this across multiple different start dates with multiple different data ranges, regardless, on every single start date, 100% of start dates, you outperformed Bitcoin when taking into consideration 20% taxes and a 0.1% trade fee, which, to be honest, is quite high. This isn't taking into account any thresholds of capital gains allowance, offsetting your losses, etc. This is 20% on every single profitable sale you ever make. You beat buy and hold, you beat blind DCA 100% of the time. If you didn't want to sell your Bitcoin, which is a very valid strategy as well, you still beat Bitcoin about 3/4 of the time. Now, the only real phase of time, and again, I'm just going to hide myself, where you didn't outperform Bitcoin is pretty much at the bottom of that 2014, 15, 16 bear market because you haven't built up a cash reserve yet. So you're competing with blind DCA, but they're not having the cash reserve to actually deploy more at these cycle lows. However, any start date since then has outperformed. So it's not looking bad, but again, we'll delve deeper because we didn't just check selling in the top 10%, pausing at the top 15% and the deploy rates when we're in the bottom 10%. We tested every single combination possible. These are the optimal strategies. Now, we want to see numbers. How much did it actually outperform by? Outperformed by quite a lot. If we look at the blind DCA with this exact strategy, you started with $100 a week. You finished on 46.8 Bitcoin. Not too bad. With the accumulation strategy, now again, this was from 2014. So if we actually just go back here, this is just the worst time to start. This is, and my head's in the way, I'll hide it again. This is the very first bar here, which we can see the outperformance by just accumulation without selling is minuscule. If we'd have done this from any other time, the peak of the bull market, then performance would have been considerably greater. But I wanted as much backtesting history as possible, and this still outperformed blind DCA. Not by much, granted, but the sell strategy, 73.9 Bitcoin. After tax, after fees. And we can go and see all the raw numbers here. We can see you practically doubled buy and hold, blind DCA, even if you paid $1 million in taxes. This is a very simplistic strategy. Will it work forever? Maybe not. But what we're trying to do here is trying to create more actionable, more robust, more efficient, more accurate, more trusting. I mean, we're given everything that's happening right now, again, you should verify, you shouldn't trust. But the MVRV quantile bands, if you don't know where to start, this is probably a good place to start. It will be free forever. So you don't have to have any site subscription. Of course, I'm a little bit biased. I would say get a site subscription because then you can get indicator alerts, you get TradingView scripts. You even have the chance to download this data via API, which is how I actually came up with all of these numbers, because it's not the easiest just by eyeballing on the chat. So there's lots of benefits as well. But if this is the last Bitcoin Magazine Pro video you ever watch, it's probably not a bad one for it to be. But as always, thank you all very much for watching.